Coffee is big is big, and big always comes back. Yamanyi mugaso gwayo. Bali mu kombucha. Bali mu local boom. Bali mu sting. Bali mu bichi ebyo byonna. Red Bull. Yet coffee can do the work. When the government gave me seedlings, I told my workers, just go and plant all the gardens and surround them with coffee trees. To my surprise, it took me just 1.5 years. The coffee cherries had already started coming out. The coffee started ripening. The first picking, I picked around 4 bags. Yet it was still growing. It was still even very low, at a low height, not even more than a meter. But when I picked those bags and I took them to the factory and I sold them, I think I got 1.4 million shillings. That's when I woke up and I'm like, wow, this is another gold mine I've never thought about. So from that day, I have given attitude to coffee. I have put in energy for coffee. I have even reared animals to produce dung for the coffee. Now I'm about to have a continuous soft soil around coffee, in the sense that it can either all the time be moist. I can either have drip irrigation around it, or there's another system I've learned which I'm going to use to cover the coffee around after irrigating it well, and then it can sustain the water and cannot be spoiled by a dry spell. So I've gained interest because I've got some of the money from the coffee and I've tested the coffee. And the coffee is a long term. You pick this year, you pick next year. You pick this year, you pick next year. You don't stop picking. It's not like passion fruits or melons that when they are done, they are done. But coffee will always come back. This coffee just makes you vibrant and alive and awake.
So it is a mindset. Yeah?
Coffee here in Uganda takes some good time of around approximately 1 year to 1.5 years once planted, to start flowering and even to start bearing fruits. And after bearing fruits, these fruits can take around 3 to 4 months to ripen, to give you this very beautiful reddish color as you can see it. So this beautiful red color is what we need to pick all the time to have very good quality coffee. In the sense that if you want to pick coffee which is heavy at the market, which will weigh better than the other coffee, make sure your coffee reaches at least this color in terms of ripening. If yes, these berries will be heavy. If you dip them into water to check their density, to check their weight, they will definitely sink down, and then the ones which are either not ripened well or which are poor quality, they will always float. But this kind of coffee bean, there is no way it can float. It will always sink because it's quite heavy. It will weigh well when it's being sold. It will weigh well when it is at the factory, and even the quality of coffee that will come out of it will be quite a good one. So this kind of coffee is found here in East Africa, in Uganda, at Bigo Mixed Farm in Wakiso district. Now, there's a difference between coffee in the shade or shaded coffee and coffee which is exposed to sunlight. That's why people mix coffee with bananas, with trees. Check the berries, check the color of the berries that come out. Others are red, but these ones are dark red. That's the difference between coffee which has been growing under a shade of a tree, of a banana plantation or anything. So that makes the coffee different, makes it of better quality and the like. One of the challenges we have with coffee plants that they need to be sorted is pruning. So once a coffee plant starts yielding such buds, and these buds start growing on the main stem of the plant, we need to come and pluck all of them off. So that the tree remains clean. But you can leave some which are coming right from the bottom. For example, like this one, I can let it be because it's coming from right from the bottom. So all these buds, you remove them because they hinder production. Instead of having quite a number of beans, you'll have less beans. So all this needs to be cleaned up. This is the beauty of coffee. It is producing new flowers. It is flowering. It is producing seeds. It is ripening. It has the green ones. It has the red ones. Remember, when you're picking the beans, you pick the red. As you can see, pick the red. We shall have a detail of the picking.
How do you determine if a coffee cherry is ripe or ready to harvest?
Okay, these coffee cherries or berries, as you can see them, They'll ripen up. Some, of course, will even dry up on the branches, like some of these ones have already dried up. Some dry because they are poor quality, or some because they're affected. That's why some people go ahead and dip these berries or cherries in what? In water. Those that float are poor quality, so they drop them. Then those that sink are the good quality, which are taken and they go down. So the good quality are these ones which are red. So when they are red, that's when you get to know that it's ripe and ready for picking. Before you come and pick coffee from your tree, first check down. Some of the ripened berries might have fallen down. See the quality I'm picking from down. These berries fell off the tree. It could have been because of the wind. It could have been because of the storm. It could have been because of the rains. So when you pick them and you add them to your collection, they will make a very good yield for your production of coffee. That is why when we go ahead and do the picking, we have to spread down maybe a jacket or a tumbler, a tarpaulin, anything you can. This will help you collect those berries that are likely to fall down, just in case you shake the tree and not. So let me show you how we spread it down. So here is my tarpaulin. Now I can be able to start picking my berries. So as I pick my berries, you can see some are falling off the berries, some are falling off, some are falling down. So as they fall down, they fall directly into the tarpaulin for easy collection. Others use baskets, but if you use a basket, that means you have double work of collecting pieces which have fallen down. We intend to collect only those ones that have ripened, as you can see. But in the due course, others fall off. They could be ripe, they could be raw, they could be turning to ripen. So be mindful about that. Avoid pulling all of them at once. Some people do. In Uganda they call it kuulula. They just pull the entire branch with all the berries, and they don't mind about picking green, picking red. They just mind about picking coffee. As long as the coffee berries are there, whether they are green or red, they just pull at once. It is so wrong. Your coffee won't be heavy at the market. Once it is being sold, it won't be heavy. But if you land on a tree like this one, where you confirm that at least the first batch, second batch, third cluster, they are all ripened, then that's when you can just rub at once, like that. But if that's not the case, make sure you handle each cluster alone, and then see that you pick the red ones only for good quality coffee to be produced. So this is produced in Uganda. This is produced in East Africa, in the Equatorial region, in Wachiso district of Uganda. And those who would like to get such coffee, you can come to our country. If you're out there watching from all over the world, Uganda has one of the best qualities of coffee. We in Africa, we are always either number 1 or number 2, alongside Ethiopia. We are the main 2 competitors for position 1 in production of coffee. That's because our coffee is of good quality, our coffee is well hand-picked, our coffee is well given fertilizers on time, and the fertilizers we give them are natural. If you look back at our farm, we have various items which we use to make the fertilizers. We have cow dung, we have goat dung, and sometimes also we have chicken dung. So you will see that if you use the dung rightly and apply the cow dung mixed with urine, you will produce a very good natural fertilizer. See the red we have just picked, just from one tree. And I've not exhausted it, I was just using it for demonstration. But I want you to see the quality of the berries that we have here. See the color of the berries, see the sizes of the berries. And this is good picking. I only have a few greens, which are supposed to be thrown out. For example, those ones can be taken out. And you will see that this is almost a full cup of red berries of coffee, which has grown, which has matured pretty well right from here, our farm. So let me put it in my bag Then we shall take it home for drying. Then we shall test the coffee later on along the way.
Okay. Which method do you use for drying or fermenting?
Okay, for drying, here in Africa and here in Uganda especially, we don't use sophisticated methods. Most of us, the people on the ground and local farmers, we get a tapling like this one, spread it every day, and we spread our coffee or our berry cherries on those taplings, and then they dry up, and then we can now have them taken inside the house each and every day until they dry up. Some people who have machines, they can remove the epicap. They remove the seeds from inside. For example, one gets to a machine, then goes and opens up the cherry and removes the seeds. For example, you can see that this seed is a very good quality seed. It's a good bean, as you can see. Even its other pair, it's a very good bean. So they dry them at this level. Then within 3 days, they are dried up. Whereas for us, we use taplings when they have not removed the covers. When they have not removed the covers of these cherries, they can take a week or two trying to dry up. But if you want them to dry very fast, you can remove the covers, then dry the seeds directly, and these seeds will take just 2 or 3 days if the sun is good enough, if it's not raining so much. Then we'd also try to see that as we put them down, we avoid hens going to crawl and look for insects from them. Avoid goats crossing through, because if goats cross through, you'll end up having goats dropping their dung into the coffee. That will clear the quality of the coffee. When coffee is tested at the cup testing, because there is cup testing to test your coffee. If your coffee is being exported, time comes when the coffee has to be tested. There's what we call cup testing. So the cup testing will have the scent of goat dung. So your coffee will fail at that stage, and therefore you will be not good, having a very good production, and therefore the quality of the product will be low, and thus even the buying product or the buying figure and value will have reduced, and they won't give you a very good price for your coffee, or even it can be rejected. And then coffee has other uses. The husks can be used as manure. The husks can be used as beddings for hens. Here in Africa, we use when we are trying to rear hens, not in the cages, in houses, we try to see that we put the hens on such husks of coffee. I was giving a difference between shaded coffee and coffee which is not shaded. You see, this coffee is not shaded because there is no tree around it that shades it. There is no banana plantation close to it. So the quality of the coffee is different from the quality we picked earlier. If you look at the berries, that's why these ones are already dried up. Then check the difference. This is coffee which has been shaded. This is coffee which is exposed to the sun. So if you have some shaded coffee, if you have some trees around, some banana plantations within coffee, that's why people here say coffee does well with banana plantations. They're actually trying to shade the coffee. So when you shade the coffee, you get good quality looking beans like these ones. Then if you don't shade the coffee, chances are high that some of the beans may not come out as expected. Also, the other difference is that we need to apply manure. Some people use advanced fertilizers, others use local manure. For us at our farm, we use both. We can use local manure, we can use cow dung, goat dung, but also we can also mix in some artificial fertilizers, which are like, for example, NPK 1717. Depends on what level the coffee is, but there are those fertilizers that people are good at using. But then for coffee, it differs. NPK 1717 is good at most of other fruits, citrus fruits. Then for coffee, it has 1717, another component. NPK stands for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So those contents, if it is 1717, it means they are the same. Then for coffee, you should know how much phosphorus do you need, how much potassium do you need, how much nitrogen do you need. If you know them, then when you go to buy those fertilizers, look out for those values attached to such products or fertilizers. Don't just pick fertilizers and then drop them. Earlier on, I also talked about pruning the coffee. I told you such trees or such branches that develop need to be trimmed off so that you can improve the production of your coffee. So this can be removed in a way of pruning the coffee. Otherwise, we have coffee here in Africa, in Uganda, which is a very good product. Those of you out there who intend to have some of this coffee, you can always join us, chat with us. We can give you something or an idea of how you can come up and either export the coffee, buy from Ugandans, or even to come and invest in coffee in the farms, in the factories, in the processing, in the addition of value. All that can be done right here in Uganda. The weather is okay, the environment is good, so coffee can grow anywhere in Uganda. I've been growing so many different things, short-term things. I grow watermelon, I grow passion fruits, I grow sugarcane, I grow greens. And one of my colleagues, he's from a region where mostly coffee is grown, that's Masaka. He's a fellow teacher with me, and also I have another teacher. There are two teachers who come from Masaka, and they both have coffee plantations. When they visited me, all they told me was, please, please, please invest in coffee. Please invest in coffee. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a thought.
Should we go now and test the coffee?
Definitely. We have some coffee already dried, already fried, and already crushed. We shall just go test the coffee, and then people can get to know that coffee can be drunk from anywhere, from the farm, everywhere, restaurants, big restaurants, and it depends. The prices right now, a kilogram is 13,000 Ugandan shillings. That's approximately $4. $4, yeah. It's the current kg price here at the farm. Just to pick. Then if you pick the raw ones like this one, we have what we call a gallon. A gallon is what we call a ndebe in our local language. The gallon of now for this coffee, or a jerry can of coffee right now, when it is cut on the top, a full jerry can of this is 40,000 Ugandan shillings. So if someone is broke, someone is hungry.
How many kgs can it carry, like a jerry can?
Wow, if they are raw, it can carry more than 15 kgs, approximately 20 kgs. And I remember one day I spent the whole day here in my farm picking cherries of coffee, and I picked a full sack, and I was so excited because I knew that's money. That's gold waiting for me to cash out. With me here I have some coffee berries which have already been processed, fried and dried, and they're ready for either chewing or making cup coffee. As you can see, they look lovely. Our great grandparents used to test them, and they take them like snacks. They could use them for pastime, they could use them to build relationships, to join families, to join members of the family, fallen out brothers, fallen out families. They could use these coffee beans to bring them back together. Though the only challenge it has, it will keep me vibrant, awake for a long time tonight. So if I want to do some long time duties tonight, do some tasks, have some work on a computer, coffee beans for you can do that for you as a very good ingredient that can improve your work rate. Thank you so much. It's more about coffee. We are here to test the cup. So we have some coffee we're going to test. But before that, the water will be boiled with our mujaja, a local ingredient. It has been here for thousands of years. Our grandparents and great-great-grandparents have all used it for taking good coffee and good tea. Okay, let's go check it out. You put it on once you stop boiling the tea. You don't put it on and then continue boiling it. So this is ready to take. So here is our cup tasting coffee. The coffee from the garden to the cup. I can feel the aroma. Here is a natural coffee cup test. Of course, we are in the village setting.
I've just finished eating the beans. And I'm now checking out the aroma of the African coffee.
Doing the cup testing.
Grown here, blended here, fermented here. Everything is done at home.
Enjoy it with cassava.
Let me enjoy it with cassava. Thank you very much. Bismillah. And I take this without sugar, and it still tastes the best.
Today we are going to stay awake the whole night. It's all about keeping you awake, keeping you alive, keeping you vibrant. Coffee can do that without any liver hazards, without any stomach upset, without any stomach complications. But most of those chemicals are good at disorganizing our systems, but coffee will improve your system.
Guys, thank you very much. It has been a great interview with him, Mr. Hamza Rubama, one and only. The guy is everywhere. trust me, you need to visit Bigo Farm and also experience what I'm experiencing whenever I come here. Thank you very much for your time. We have learned a lot from you, and thanks for educating the nation and the entire world. Thank you for watching, guys. Remember to leave a comment in the comment section, and remember, Mr. Hamza Rwama is also a physician, is a mathematician. He has those Zoom classes for those people who are interested in Zoom classes. I'll be dropping the number for you guys. You can check him out for the best results you need to get in your academic years. Thank you very much.
Coffee calms down your mind. Coffee brings peace. Coffee is natural. Coffee is real. Coffee makes you feel alive again.